Capitol Hill now, where we are following several budget hearings happening at this very moment. So from Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s first testimony since his January confirmation hearings to Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem's House committee hearing, which was overshadowed by an incident involving congressional Democrats at a Newark ICE facility. Meanwhile, the House committee in charge of all tax-related matters just wrapped up its overnight debate. It passed its portion of a GOP budget plan aimed at advancing President Trump's so-called big, beautiful bill. It's one of three committees that met Tuesday to discuss this so-called reconciliation package. The other two are still ironing out the details over potential Medicaid cuts and a reduction in the SNAP program. House Speaker Mike Johnson spoke about the bill and how Democrats are impeding progress, blaming the other side. Take a listen.
We're going to slash taxes, including on tips, overtime, Social Security for seniors and job creators, restore American energy dominance, as you've heard, secure our border, and deport illegal aliens. We're going to eliminate waste, fraud, and abuse, return to peace through strength, and reduce spending all at the same time. And as we're working to get this done, House Democrats are working overtime to deceive the American people about this. We've discussed it already this morning, but they're not talking about what the bill actually does. They're using talking points that are pretty stale. They're not afraid to lie about what's in it, and we're not afraid to tell the truth about what the Democrats are doing.
So let's bring in CBS News congressional correspondent Caitlin Huey-Burns. Okay, so it's another day of blaming the other side. I want to start with these committee hearings. Can you break down what happened with the Ways and Means Committee and where the last two ongoing debates on this one stand, Caitlin?
Hey, Reed, great to see you. It's a busy day up here on Capitol Hill. Lots of hearings happening across this campus. But what is front and center is really this big budget bill that the president obviously wants to get through because it includes his major agenda items. The House is inching ever closer to getting this to the floor. House Speaker Mike Johnson wants this to pass through his chamber by next Friday before the chamber adjourns for Memorial Day recess. That is a uphill climb, to say the least, because there are a lot of sticking points that still remain. Yes, one committee, the House Ways and Means Committee, which deals with the tax portion of this, voted this out of committee, but there are still some major sticking points, and here are a couple of them. First of all, what we've been calling the SALT deduction. This is state and local taxes included in the tax cuts. There are a number of Republican lawmakers from states with high income tax properties that want a higher cap on that legislation, higher than it was in the original draft. So they are working through that and don't seem, at least at this point, to have agreed on a number there. There's also these potential cuts to Medicaid, as you mentioned. House leadership is insistent that this is a targeting of waste, fraud, and abuse, and really working on the work requirements to be in this program. But we're still waiting to see what exactly gets voted out of that separate committee here. By and large, as these are getting voted out of committee, there's still a lot of work to do because the whole House has to vote on these bills in order for it to advance to the Senate. And don't even get me started on how much of an uphill climb that will be in the Senate, because already on the Senate side, you've got some Republican lawmakers saying that they're not happy with some of the provisions being talked about in this bill. So bottom line here, the House is getting closer and closer, but still a long way to go before anything looks remotely ready for the president's desk.
Right, and I'm reading reports that the president would like to sign that on July 4th. It'll be fascinating to see if they can get it done in Congress. Okay, so I want to pivot to something else while we have you there. Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., what can you tell us about his testimonies today? What was he asked?
Yeah, Reed, this is really important that he's up here because he hasn't faced a congressional committee since his confirmation hearing. And remember how difficult that was, how slim of a vote that was. So this is his first appearance as HHS director officially. As you can imagine, there are a lot of questions. This is still ongoing, but a lot of questions about the uptick in measles cases, questions ongoing about the secretary's stance on vaccines, and also about these widespread cuts to HHS that his administration that the Trump administration has ordered when it comes to HHS. So this is the secretary becoming accountable to Congress. And this is also something, if you remember from his confirmation hearings, those Republicans who were even skeptical of him wanted him to appear more frequently than others do to be able to kind of check his statements and what he is doing as secretary at this time.
Well, also speaking about hearings, Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem, also she's there for budget hearing, but there's another issue she addressed involving Congress members at an ICE facility. That got a lot of headlines. What does she have to say about that?
Yeah, and I should mention, too, the reason that a lot of these administration officials are up here on the Hill this week and last week is because they're going through this budget process. So these are people who are asking Congress to give their agencies the money that they need. When it comes to Kristi Noem, she has been addressing this incident that we saw over the weekend at an ICE detention facility in New Jersey. A group of Democratic lawmakers had a skirmish with ICE officials there, and the DOJ is now investigating them. Earlier today, House Speaker Mike Johnson said that there should be some kind of disciplinary action for those members, but that is yet to be seen what exactly that would look like. And Kristi Noem also echoed that as well, saying that there should be consequences for those members who participated. Remember, the mayor of Newark, New Jersey was arrested that day, and there are other questions about what exactly happened. That hearing, of course, is ongoing as well, so we will keep you updated on sounds that we get from that as well.
I almost wish your camera could tilt down and show us your shoes, because I have a feeling you have running shoes on today. So many stories taking place. Right, good. You need them.
Lots of coffee.
Lots of coffee. So many stories taking place behind every one of the doors there behind you. Caitlin Huey-Burns, our ace on the Hill, as always. So great to talk.